morning, dear students, and welcome to today's session. In this session, we are going to continue with our discussion of Act 1, Scene 1 of the play The Tempest. In the last class, we saw that in the beginning of the play itself, a storm is arose in the sea, and the ship is drifted towards the shore. So a danger arises for all the people who are on board on that ship, because there is a fear that the ship may run aground. So therefore there is a situation of urgency created, and all the people on board on that ship, they start panicking. The master of the ship, the boatswain, and the mariners, they make an desperate attempt to save the ship from drifting along towards the shore or from being wrecked, so that their lives could be saved. And at the same time, all the royal people who were on board on that ship, they were extremely frightened, and they were worried about their safety, about their security. And the boatswain, who was an insolent person, he was rather rude in his conduct towards the royal people, towards King Alonso. And when King Alonso asked the boatswain to act courageously like that of a man, the boatsman got furious, and he shouted at the king and asked the king to immediately go into his cabin and not to interfere in their work, so that they could work without any interference, and they could dedicate themselves wholeheartedly to their task of saving the ship from that sea storm. It is at that particular moment that Gonzalo, who is the wise old counselor of the king, he asks the boatswain to remain calm, to be patient. However, the boatswain tells Gonzalo that he would be calm and patient only when the sea becomes patient. But at that particular moment, he does not want to listen to anyone, and he also says that what cares these roarers for the name of king? The roarers here refers to the winds and the waves, the violent wind and the waves that are aroused in the sea. Do they care in the name of the king? Are they afraid of the king? Do they carry out the orders of the king? Obviously not. So the high and the low all become same in the face of adversity or misfortune. So the people who belong to the noble class, aristocratic class, and the people who belong to the lower strata of the society, worksmen like that of boatsmen and the mariners, they all are equal in the face of danger. And therefore he asked Gonzalo to go to the cabin and be silent. At this, Gonzalo asked the boatsman to remember who are the people on board on that ship as passengers. So he tells the boatsman that he must remember that the ship contains royal personages as its passenger. But the boatsman, none that I more love than myself. Okay, he says that there is nobody on the ship who is more dearer to him than his own life. So at that particular moment, the boatsman was frantically trying not to save the king, but to save his own life. And he holds his own life dearer to him than anybody else in the world. He also shouts at Gonzalo in a furious way. He tells Gonzalo that Gonzalo is the advisor to the king. He is the counselor to the king. So therefore Gonzalo has the authoritative power to command others, to give orders to others. And the boatswain tells Gonzalo that if Gonzalo has the power to order, then he must order the storm to subdue itself. He must command these elements to silence. What are the elements? The elements of the sea. Here elements refers to the winds, waves, the storm, the ocean, sea, etc. So if Gonzalo can command these elements of the sea to subdue themselves, and if he succeeds in bringing about a calm weather, if he can work the peace of the present, if he can restore peace at that present moment by subduing the storm, then the boatswain says that he will not have to handle a single rope anymore. He will not have to do anything to rescue the ship from being wrecked. And if Gonzalo is unable to use his authoritative power, if he is unable to make use of his authority to subdue the storm, then he must be grateful that he has lived so long. He must be thankful that he had lived so long, and at the same time he must be prepared to face whatever disaster might take place in the next hour. So he must be ready to face any type of misfortune that might occur. So therefore he tells Gonzalo that Gonzalo, if he has no authority to subdue the storm, then he must go into his cabin and prepare himself for meeting with any type of misfortune. At the same time, the boatswain tries to encourage the people to work more, the mariners. So he tells to the mariners, cheerly, good hearts. Okay, cheerly means continue your efforts cheerfully with a brave heart. And then he shouts at Gonzalo, out of our way, I say. Get out of the way, I tell you. And saying this, the boatswain exits. The moment the boatswain exits, Gonzalo says, now you see, in all this situation where a chaos, panic is created, confusion is created, Gonzalo is the only character who retains his calm and composure. He is still very calm and patient. And he here makes a sarcastic remark about the boatswain. He says, I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Okay. Complexion here means his physical appearance. Sometimes it may also refer to temperament of a person. The complexion of the boatswain indicates that he is meant for perfect gallows. Perfect gallows means the physical appearance of the boatswain is a clear indication that he deserves to be hanged. So Gonzalo has a great comfort even in this adverse situation, because according to him, the boatswain has no drowning mark upon him. That is, he is not going to die by drowning, because his face, his physical appearance shows that he will die by being hanged. And to hang that boatswain, it is necessary that they must reach the shore. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. So he says, oh kind fate, be firm and allow this boatswain to die by hanging. Only his destiny, which is to die by hanging, can now save all the people who are on board on that ship. And if he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable. So if the boatswain is not born to die by hanging on land, then the case of all the people on board on that ship is miserable. Okay. So he makes use of his wit, of his sarcastic remark, to elevate the gravity of the situation. And he says that he is confident that they are not going to be affected in any ways by the storm, because the boatswain is born to be hanged till death, and for hanging the boatswain they must reach the shores. They will reach the land. Okay. So we'll continue with this in the next video. Thank you.